What's going on, everyone? I'm just over 3 months into my natural bodybuilding competition prep. In this video, while showing you some of my latest training footage, I'm going to share with you a little bit about how my prep has been going thus far. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. At the time of recording this, I'm just about 14 weeks into dieting, and I've lost almost 14 pounds. I started the prep off at 209.8 pounds, and I've seen a few weigh-ins in the 196s over the past week or so. I'm thinking I'll see at least one weigh-in in the 195s before the end of this week. The way I'm structuring my prep is like this. It starts with a 16-week pre-prep diet to lose around 20 pounds. That's where I am right now. Followed by a 6-week maintenance block to recharge my batteries a bit. And after that, I'll start the serious part of my prep diet where I'll get down to my stage weight. That last part will last 5.5 or 6.5 months, depending on what show I decide to hit first. Keeping all of that in mind, by the time I get to the end of the first 16 weeks of dieting, it's looking like I'll be several pounds short of my initial target if I continue losing at around a pound per week. That target being 190 pounds. I'll probably be around 194 or maybe 193 pounds at the rate things are going if I don't increase my deficit a little bit. I'm not worried about it though, to be perfectly honest. I'm feeling like my physique has tightened up pretty significantly thus far and might actually be exactly where I need to be. I'm meeting with my coach, Jeff Alberts, next week and will defer to his direction. If he thinks I should aim to get a little bit tighter, then that might mean I will diet for several more weeks and will have to shorten my maintenance block a little bit, which honestly wouldn't be the end of the world since I don't feel like the diet has drained me very much thus far. On the flip side, if he thinks that I'm where I need to be as far as my level of leanness goes at this stage of the game, then it might mean I stick with my scheduled maintenance block as is planned. Either way, I'm not stressing about it. I'm just going with the flow. The nice part about doing such a long prep is that modifying the prep trajectory is completely feasible at this point with having so much extra time. Okay, so how am I feeling at this point? Well, so far, the effects I'm feeling from dieting are pretty minimal. That's another one of the benefits of losing weight at a conservative rate. It's minimally invasive. When I get closer to getting on stage, I'm inevitably going to be suffering a good deal more, but it doesn't make any strategic sense to put myself through that discomfort too early and potentially put unnecessary stress on my body. It'll naturally get tough soon enough. Anyways, I do feel some extra hunger, but honestly, I kind of like the feeling when it starts to creep in. I think of it as a positive, kind of like an indicator that that deficit is working and that I'm making progress. Usually, the brunt of the hunger comes between my lunch and dinner, kind of around the late afternoon, early evening. As far as my energy levels go, overall, it feels almost completely unaffected. Sleep is also good, unless I'm stressed about something, which definitely does happen. But my main stressors come outside of natural bodybuilding, so I suspect the nights where I get a bit less sleep don't really have anything to do with my diet. As far as my strength goes at the gym, I do feel a bit of a difference there, particularly in comparison to when I was lean bulking. The loads are mainly just feeling heavier. Like with Romanian deadlifts, for example, the moment I pick up the barbell, it's like, whoa, that feels heavier than the last time I did it, despite lifting the same amount of weight. Even so, despite the loads feeling heavier, there haven't really been any notable performance or strength drops just yet. Something worth noting is that my mind-muscle connection is absolutely fantastic across the board right now. Not that it wasn't decent before getting deeper into dieting, but something I found during prep is that with the slightly greater level of attention to how I control the weights, my mind-muscle connection does get at least a little bit stronger. It's It's probably a good indicator that I'm getting a good amount of stimulus to retain my hard-earned muscle as I continue to get leaner. I guess it's also worth noting that my level of soreness between workouts is actually increasing a bit too. Not totally desirable there. It's probably an effect of taking in less supply from my diet to fuel the recovery process needed from my hard training. The soreness is usually the worst in my lower body the days after I start my session off with deficit Bulgarian split squats. No surprises there though. Despite the extra soreness, I think I'm still recovering decently, and I'm hitting a good balance with 4 days a week of hard training. I want to mention something that's been really helping me throughout this first phase of my prep. It's something that probably isn't ideal for everyone, but in my context, it's been having a pretty big positive impact. What is it, you ask? Well, I've refrained from taking any progress photos throughout the process thus far. The only metric for tracking my fat loss progress has been taking my scale weight measurements. So, why has refraining from taking progress photos been helping me? Well, simply put, it's keeping me from hyperfixating on what my physique looks like. Since I'm in my 5th prep, I know from experience that I'm still quite far away from the level of leanness I need to be before stepping on stage. So taking photos weekly, bi-weekly, or even monthly is just something I don't really need to be doing at this stage of the game. Since I've prepped multiple times already, it's just not data that I need. I found that not taking the photos has actually helped me minimize unnecessary stress concerning my level of progress and to instead help keep me more in the present. I mentioned in one of my last videos that one of my aims for this prep is to stay in the present as much as possible, and honestly, this is really helping with that. I did take my photos at the very beginning of my prep when I was 209.8 pounds, and I will again just before I meet up with Jeff pretty soon here so that he can help to evaluate my progress. I'll start taking them more frequently again soon enough once I've finished my maintenance phase and get into that deep part of the prep diet itself. That's when the photos will be best used as a data source. And that's my prep update for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below and I'll be happy to answer. Just before closing this video, for all of the natural bodybuilders out there, I want to let you know about the Natural Bodybuilding Society on Discord. It's a community that I've created exclusively for natural bodybuilders, where you can connect, find relatability, learn from each other, ask questions, follow along each other's journeys, support each other, and so on. The group is completely free to join, no subscriptions and no paywalls. If you're thinking, well, hey, that sounds pretty sweet, then you should join. I've left a link in the description below for you to click on and join the community. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.